Alright, we have made it to Ushuaia.
Ushuaia.
Otherwise known as
Fin del mundo.
the end of the world.
So, as you can tell from our attire, the temperature and weather is a little bit different than it was when we were in Buenos Aires, but it was a beautiful flight in. We've got to see some mountains. Tomorrow, we're going to an island where it's just inhabited by penguins. So we're looking forward to that. But Ushuaia's got a really kind of cool history.
Yeah, it's a cool place. For one, it's an island that is separated from, well, all land because it's an island, but Chile and Argentina both own the island that Ushuaia sits on. So to get out of Ushuaia, which is Argentina, you have to go into Chile, so go through immigration there, and then leave Chile back into Argentina. So several stamps to do that.
Yes, or you can fly.
Just fly straight in.
Flying is the easiest way to do it. The great thing about Ushuaia is that it's also kind of where a lot of treks and adventures and trips that are going to Antarctica leave from. So you're going to see a lot of cruise ships from people that are taking that journey down to Antarctica. Feels a little like Antarctica without being in Antarctica. So yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, and everything here is the end of the world, the southernmost. So if you have a beer, it's the most southern brewery that you're gonna go to.
Yeah, so I think one of the things too about this island is that it was a place initially where prisoners, like the worst prisoners, were sent. And so not only were they sent here, they also had to build their own prison, but then they worked on building a railway station here too. So I think as we go around town, we may see some references to prisoners with the striped uniforms that they had to wear.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. I think we walked by something a little earlier that was mannequins that were all in prison uniforms.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but there is a museum here. I don't think that was it. But, so you can see the water, Antarctica that way. We keep turning. Behind us, all snow-capped mountains. And again, we are here in March, and that would be, since we're in the southern hemisphere, that would be basically the end of summertime, beginning of spring. And it is currently 43 degrees.
It's not warm.
So if you come, dress prepared.
Yes. But come with us and explore the wonders of Ushuaia.
Penguins. There are cormorants, not penguins. If you see them fly, it's because there are cormorants and not penguins.
Okay.
Sea lions everywhere out here, which I assume they were waiting for a snack, but our guide said that they don't actually feed off the penguins. It's too much work because they are too fast.
The penguins do feed off of the fish here, and I guess depending on the time of year, you can tell how often, how much they're eating because they change color, which is always interesting. So let's talk about the penguin island.
It was pretty awesome. It delivered. There was, I think, 7,000
7,000
Magellan penguins,
Engine 2.
and then there was I forget how many, just over 1,000 Gen 2s. So, and they're all molting right now. So they were in different stages of no feathers to beautiful new feathers.
Yes, and the guide is really helpful. So they have a pathway where you can walk basically within all of the penguins. So you're right there with them. But he did tell us, like, hey, when it moves its head from side to side, it makes it stressed out and we're a little too close. But they kind of, I think they're so used to people, they got close to us. So we tried as much as we could to stay away from them. But it was so cool just to like stay still and have like a group of penguins walk up to you. It's a, I would say, once in a lifetime experience for sure.
Yeah, with sea lions all over outside of the island a little bit. Just a great place. Learned that they burrow. There was penguins coming out from under the ground, just popping up next to you.
Yeah. The molting was the most interesting. So I think we came again. We're here in April or
March.
We're here in March, and this is a good time where they're molting. So to see them actually, kind of scratch their heads like dogs and see their little fur get molted off was kind of interesting.
And the company that we went with, Beaver Tour, and we'll put it up here somewhere. They're the only company that can actually get off the boats and get onto land. So you have a way better experience. It is quite a bit more. I think it's
400 US for both of us.
So 200 a piece, which includes basically a full day. Right now we have just 4 hours in between different excursions with them. So it is a pretty good deal considering what we're getting. But like I said, it's the only one that you can get off and actually walk amongst them and learn about them.
Yeah.
Other boats were pulling up and just kind of look at them from the shore and then drive off. So they didn't know that they were molting, couldn't see them coming out from underground in their nests. So.
And we got a full hour. And because the tour group that we went through, Beaver Tour, is the only one that's allowed on the island, they're also limited to how many people can be there at a certain time. So they split our group up in half. So 20 of us were there with the penguins and the other 20 were somewhere else. So it was really kind of an intimate experience with just 20 people getting to interact and take pictures. And I say interact, you can't touch them. There's 4 rules that they tell you about, like you can't touch them, you can't feed them, you can't smoke there, you can't eat there, and don't take anything off the island. Which was really tempting because the seashells there
so many
were beautiful and there was a ton of them. So as much as we were tempted, we did not take anything off of the island.
Yeah. When we got there was other people on shore, and we thought, were we lied to? But as it turns out, the Argentina Navy just decided that they would stop by and run around with the penguins, and the captain of our boat ran over there and chased the Navy off, said, you do not have any rights to be here. So it is quite protected.
Yes. And I think too, the relationship between Argentina and Chile was really interesting. I guess they're allowed to ride along each other's coastlines, but they're not allowed to stop. So with us being this close to Chile, there is a port there that it's not the end of the world. I think they call themselves beyond the end of the world. They're not a town. They only have about 4,500 residents, so they can't call themselves
A city.
a city.
I think they are a town. Argentina says they're a village. Because obviously the sell here is, it's the most southern city in the world. So if Chile says, hey, but we have one a little farther south that is a city, might lose some revenue.
And I think, again, you can ride along the coastline and not stop if you're that curious about what's happening. But I would say with the penguin encounter, I don't know if there's more that I'd want to see.
So we are about to start our second adventure of the day. We're gonna go with Peter Tour again through the Beagle Channel.
And the interesting thing about the Beagle Channel is that the HMS Beagle is the name of the ship that Charles Darwin took when he went on all of his expeditions to classify and identify and observe animals, and where he came up with his evolution of the species theory. And so, yeah, it's kind of a nod to him, especially with all of the marine life and wildlife that you can see here. It makes sense that they would honor him.
Yeah, a nice nod to him.
And fun fact about this area, apparently the Canadian beavers were brought here because they wanted to use their pelts as a form of trade, but for whatever reason it didn't work out. But the beavers are still here, and the beavers are causing a little bit of a problem because they don't have any natural predators in this area, so they are tearing stuff up.
Yeah, when you leave town and go out into the wetlands, there's just trees down everywhere. And you can see, we saw a couple dams that were built by the beavers, so causing all kinds of problems around here.
And see with beavers. All right, so one of the reasons why the Beagle Channel is significant is because it's one of only 3 navigatable channels that merges with the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, so used for a lot of transporting.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Right.
It connects the Atlantic and Pacific, so that's where all the trades are done. Something like that. We don't know.
I don't know.
We're just dummies traveling around looking at shit. All right, best seat in the house. It's a little chilly. Nice up here. All right, we're here in the middle of the Beagle Channel. We have Argentina, the famous lighthouse. It's the most southern lighthouse in the world. And then over on this side, we have Chile. Back into the heat. All right, we are on day number 2 in Ushuaia. We are hoping that we can catch a bus that'll take us to the trailhead for Laguna Esmeralda, which is supposed to be a really nice hike, fairly easy. I think it's 2.5 in, 2.5 out, so hopefully we haven't missed the bus. And it's a little chilly this morning.
Yeah.
Well, we did not make the bus. We actually could have made the bus, but then they would pick us up in less amount of time than it takes to make the thing. So we opted out, went for a taxi, which turned out to be almost the same price, and hope to pick us up whenever we wanted. So I think we're winning there.
If you're going to take the bus, there's one at 8, one at 9, and one at 10. So we recommend taking 8 o'clock.
And I think it just changed the price from like 20 to 30 to to have them pick us up whenever we want.
Ushuaia.
All right. All right, we made it to the trailhead, and I don't know if you can see, but it's snowing on us.
Yeah, it's a little colder than we planned for, so about to layer up and get hitting the road, Jack.
Phase 1, the timber, which at least gets us out of the snow falling on us, but it's not too bad after you get moving, right?
No, I don't know. I think once we... Apparently there's multiple ways to get in. So if you follow the well-worn path, like if your path looks like you're walking through the woods, it's the wrong path. You know, for a friend.
And then, you know, when you know where you're at, you get these options. I think we're fine right here though. We had mentioned earlier that there was a beaver problem here, and I guess this is one of the instances. They created a dam diverting the water, but they also did make a nice lake and habitat for some ducks. So it's not all bad, I guess. We've officially made it to the uphill portion of this trek. Gloves off, coats off, still warm. But we're making it. Alright. Out of the uphill section. How you feeling? This is nice in here. Well, out here now.
Really beautiful. It's cool that the whoever's in charge of managing the outdoor recreation has built this really nice bridge so that we don't get stuck in the mud and the marsh out here. So they've done a pretty good job of maintaining it. The trail is pretty easy to follow once you get past the uphill part. Yeah, it's peaceful. Even though people out here, it's not noisy. People aren't being pushy. So
Yeah, and there's not really that many. We kind of came late and avoided the big crowds, I think. But every now and again you'll get into these openings where there's glaciers. The sun tries to shine through, but
no.
It's still snowing on us. But these walkways here were built recently. I didn't know they existed. I had read that these marshy areas are really tough because they'll suck your shoes right off. We actually saw the heel of their shoe stuck from before they had built this. But this really made it easier. Well, our path has turned now, and we're walking up towards the glacier. It looks like a little bowl down there, so we might be close. There it is. Laguna Esmeralda.
It's beautiful. I like that. They call Laguna Esmeralda is like Emerald Lake in Spanish, which could probably take you 2 seconds to figure out even if you didn't speak Spanish, but it's beautiful. I like that color.
Very nice. We got a little fogged in up there. You can see the glaciers which create it, but still very nice. We came, we saw, we got snowed on. Now we got to try to make it back out.
Did pretty good. Less than 2 hours. We're gonna see if we can break our record.
We have made it back to the airport after 4 days here in Ushuaia. And what do you think?
I think it's cute. I like the town. Once you get used to the cold, because I'm not a cold weather person, once you get used to the cold, it really is beautiful. Like the views of the mountains, the snow-capped mountains, and then all of the different activities. Like there's a lot to do, but it feels like a small, quaint little village, much like Breckenridge or
Perfectly safe.
yeah. I never once worried about anything. Yeah, I think it's a nice place to kind of come and chill. Like if you've been, this is the beginning of our next adventure where we're going to be super busy. So I think it was a good kickoff where it was relaxing, but we did a lot in a short amount of time. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's next.
I think you could spend a week here easily if you wanted to hike every day, but we went on a really nice hike yesterday, and I think we're good on hikes here.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you are outdoorsy, there is plenty to do, whether it's going to be on the water, whether it'll be hiking, whether it'll be taking a boat somewhere. We just saw a bunch of people on horses in the middle of town, so I don't know what that was about, but
And even in the wintertime, there was a bunch of ski resorts, lots of lifts where you would see. So fun all year round if you're into cold weather sports.
and I would say, if you're somebody that wants to just chill and lay back and shop, there's a ton of shopping here, tons of shops to see, little boutiques, and then the big stores like Patagonia, Colombia, all of that stuff. So there's a little bit of something for everybody. Had we had one more day, I think we probably would have gotten massages after we went on that 7-mile trek to Laguna Esmeralda. We probably, if we had one day, we probably would have gotten a massage today. But
Maybe.
there's plenty of different places to get massages too. I think the one that we almost booked was $40 US.
40 an hour.
40 an hour. So,
It is expensive here.
yes.
I think our cheapest, like even lunch, was maybe $35, $40.
Yeah.
So
You're not coming here to save money.
yeah, I don't think you're going to South America and you're going to save money here in Ushuaia.
But we did run into Americans. We ran into people from Brazil, actually. So I think you're also going to have a good interaction with people from all over. I think the time of year we are now, I think our taxi driver said that a lot of people from Europe come, and there was a guy behind us in line here from France. So yeah, you'll run into a little bit of everybody while you're here. But yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I say given the opportunity, definitely come.
For sure.